YouTubers, it's your boy Rob and we back in the shop today. So today I just came out to really just, you know what I'm saying, mess with the Elco for a little second. Like, I'm not really doing nothing to it because, you know what I'm saying, it needs so much work in order to, you know what I'm saying, get it back on the road. You know, it's winter time now, or fall, I guess. So I'm not really pressed to get anything done on it. Plus, I want to fix the Impala before I jump back to the Elco. But I just wanted to hear the car. I wanted to hear something, you know what I'm saying, nice V8, whatever, because obviously the Monte Carlo ain't got nothing in it right now. You know what I'm saying, the Impala is, you know, the motor is messed up, and the Elco runs, but obviously I can't drive it because of the transmission issue. So I just wanted to turn it on here for a little bit. Eventually I'll get back to it. The reason why I'm not super pressed to get the Elco, you know what I'm saying, together is because I've had my fun with the Elco. You know what I'm saying? I've made it to a bunch of car shows with it. I've driven it. I've had fun with it, everything like that. I've never driven the Monte Carlo anywhere yet because, you know, obviously I just got it. You guys know since I've had it, I've been working on it, getting it painted, doing everything that needs to be done. And then also on the Monte Carlo, I mean, not the Monte Carlo, the Impala. The Impala, I've never taken it really anywhere. I've just driven it around the neighborhood. And when I moved from house to house, I've driven it into, like, you know, my old neighborhoods and stuff like that. But, like, I haven't been to no shows, no cruises, nothing in it. So I'm really eager to get that done. And I want to have both SS's out for the summer. So that's my goal. And then we'll jump back to the Elco, because I'm going to remix the Elco. Not like the paint or nothing like that, but like, you know, the motor, transmission, rear end, all that kind of stuff. Got to undercoat it. So it needs a lot of work before I get back to it. So anyways, man, I'm going to flip this camera around. I discovered something just now. I'll start it up for a second, but I don't want to run it too long because it's pouring gas. It's pouring gas. And unfortunately, when these cars sit, they just, you know, it just, you know, whatever. But anyways, man, I'm about to flip this camera around. Before we get into the video, go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and yeah, let's get to it. All right, y'all. I know this car has not been on the channel for months. And that's mainly because the car has been, for one, I cracked the transmission. It was 100% my fault. When Dash was doing the exhaust on the car, I decided to get up under there and, like, you know, try to get the gasket tightened up because it's been continuously leaking. And I heard like a cracking sound when I like tightened it, and I was doing foot-pounds and not inch-pounds, and I think I did like 18 foot-pounds or something like that, too tight, and I heard a crack sound, and then it just started to pour transmission fluid. So I thought that the gasket had ripped, not the transmission. And it wasn't until I got a new gasket and I looked up under there, I was about to change the gasket, and I noticed that there was a crack in the transmission, and I was like, oh, well, that's a wrap. Since then, the car has been just sitting here. I was getting it together, trying to get the interior together. I was doing the speakers. I got the speakers together, like they work and they're in there. I had the 2 speakers in there at first with the 2 speaker door panels. Somebody came and bought those, and started to fiberglass those speakers into the door panels that I had got from the junkyard, and it just so happened that they were black, so I kept those. Dash blessed me with some other door panels that I was gonna paint and use, but I ended up finding the black ones, which matched perfectly. So anywho, I was in the process of getting all that together, getting the dashboard cinched down, locked down so it doesn't fall out, getting it tightened up, getting everything done, and the transmission had to basically take a shit. I guess whatever, it was my fault, you know what I'm saying? So anyways, since then, this has probably been about June. The car's been sitting since the last show that I went to. And when these cars sit, it sucks because things just, you know, gaskets get old, they start to get brittle, and it sucks. And especially when it gets cold, this tire continuously goes flat. It's starting to get cold, so it's going flat. It hasn't gone flat all summer until now. The air, I guess, density or whatever you want to call it, the cold air just deflates tires. And this one specifically, this one will deflate. The rest of them pretty much are cool, but this one will deflate. There's no hole in it. There's nothing wrong with it. It's good all summer until it gets cold, and then this one just goes flat. So I don't know. I'll probably lift the car up and put it on a jack stand a little bit just to keep this tire off of the ground so I don't get no flat spots. So we got that issue. Unfortunately, when I started up the car, I digress. I had to put this battery in here. This battery is kind of like old. This was in the Impala. It kept going dead. And so I took it out and I was like, this battery's probably toasted. And I had it left off to the side and I was just like, you know what? You know what I mean? I'm gonna just keep it just for a core when I go get another battery for the car. And so I ended up putting this one in there, throwing it on the trickle charger. It was on the trickle charger all night. And the car started right up. I was trying to charge this one, which is the good one, the Optima battery. And this one's completely dead. The cells in it are completely dead. Like, it doesn't even charge. So the good one, done for. The one that I thought was done for, is working for now. So I'll just probably unplug it and keep it on a trickle charger here and there when I want to start the car. Unfortunately, I'm not going to start the car no more. I don't know if you guys could see how much fluid that is, but that's all fuel. All fuel. It's just been dumping out of the carburetor, and I think it's the gasket in the float bowl or whatever. And I've had this issue before, and I've had to replace it before. So when you don't drive these cars, like the gaskets, and especially in the carburetor, they just get old, and they're not lubricated, so they're easy to what do I want to say? To go bad, I guess you could say. And so that's just what continuously happens, man. But my plans for the Elco, I am going to revamp the Elco. I got to give me some time with it because, it's not on my plate yet to start doing anything with it just yet because, like I said, again, I'm trying to get to the Impala first. So eventually the motor will come out, transmission will come out. We'll scrap the transmission or sell it if somebody wants to try to fix it. I don't know. We'll take the rear end out, get a new rear end, do all that kind of good stuff, and then, we'll redo the motor. The motor's already set up to be a 383. I just need a new crank. So I'll get a new crank, rebuild the motor, because this motor's been built for quite a while now. We'll get new front drive accessories, and I think I'll go EFI. My intentions were to go EFI, and that's the reason why I put that little square there, so I could put the EFI in there and make it like a nice little picture frame type thing. So this is 100% custom like type dash that I created. I could do better. I can make it better, make it look better and stuff like that, which I intend on doing or plan on doing eventually. But like I said, I had kind of got stopped dead in the water. And I think what I'm gonna do too is I think I'm gonna take the Monte Carlo. I'm not 100% decided on this yet, but I think I'm gonna take the Monte Carlo center console and put it in here, and then I'm gonna just make a console for the Monte Carlo. We'll see. I'm not 100% decided, but let me start it up for you guys real quick. I want y'all to hear it for a second because we ain't heard the Elco for a minute. I'll start it up for a quick second and let it do its thing, and then, we'll go ahead and shut it back off. I don't think it's too hot. I wasn't running it that long because, yeah, the headers aren't too hot. I can kind of touch them. I wasn't running it too long because I wanted to, or I can't move the car, and I don't want the exhaust fumes in here because this car emits a lot of exhaust fumes. So let me go get the keys, and then I'll start it up real quick. All right, y'all, we just gonna start it and shut it down because I don't need no mishaps, you feel me? So wait for the joint to cut on. Got my Alpine, everything. Y'all, it started right up because that wasn't a cold start, by the way. Just letting y'all know, I had to pump the gas obviously to get it started, but I don't know if y'all could see the fuel just dripping. You can see it's just pouring, you know what I mean? You can see it just dripping everywhere. So like I said, I needed to stop the car. I ain't trying to heat it up too much because then you'll have aflame crazy. And I got a fire extinguisher over there, and I got one right here, and I got one, I think, in the Elco. I got one in the Impala. I got fire extinguishers everywhere, but I don't want no mishaps. So had to go ahead and stop it. Don't want it to heat up. It's not like the car can go anywhere anyway. So it is what it is, man. I just wanted to hear my car. But I'm excited to finally be revamping this motor. We built this motor in 2013, 14, I think it was. So it's been in the car for about 10 to 11 years. Me and my pops built it together, and you know, it's now time. Oh man, that might be transmission fluid, but it's now time to, you know, take it out and redo it. So we'll get there. And you know, there's a lot of things that I learned over time. There's a lot of things that I want to do differently, and I guess, you know, I could tell y'all here what my plans are. Like I said, I'll get a new crank, 383 this joint out, EFI, Holley EFI. We're gonna probably switch over to that. We're gonna switch these valve covers out. We're gonna do these headers. I don't know if you guys can tell, but they're like all rusty. Obviously they've been header wrapped. When I first got these headers, so the heads are angle plug heads, and I didn't know nothing about angle plug heads. So I bought some black Headman headers, shorty headers for this originally that were really nice, and they didn't fit. And so in a time of like, oh man, what do I do? Because we had just put the motor in and everything like that, and I needed to move the car out the way, and because it needed to go from my homie's house to my grandparents' house, because the homies was like leaving where they were at, and you know, the car needed to get out of the garage, and I needed to get headers for the car. And so in the last ditch effort, I ran to AutoZone, and they had some headers, and they worked, they fit for angle plugs, and that's how these headers got onto the car, and they've been there ever since. I never have liked them, you know what I'm saying? But after we wrapped them, it was kind of like, all right, whatever. And I never really liked the angle plug style, because I feel like it just gets in the way, and it makes it real difficult. It's real difficult to get the spark plugs in there. On some of the, I think like this one and something on the other side, it's hard to get the spark plugs in there. And I never really took them off because I think the bolt on the back side, I think when I was putting it in there, I kind of cross-threaded it, and it's just been like that ever since. So, you know, I was always scared to take it out. So we'll switch up the headers, the valve covers, the heads will probably go, this intake will probably go, the carburetor will obviously go. I started to get good with the carburetor stuff. I had a fuel issue. The car kept shutting off, so the fuel, it was too rich. It was running too rich, and the car kept shutting off, and I couldn't figure out why. And then I started to understand, you know, the whole air fuel mixture a little bit better as time went on. And so it's been running real good ever since. Car cuts on, you know what I'm saying? I don't have no issues. There is overheating issues. There's probably like a bubble in the system. Last time I drove it, I didn't really have that much of an issue, but the clutch style fan is not big enough to keep up with this motor, so I need to go electric. So we're obviously going electric. The battery keeps dying, obviously, because, you know, the car's not driven like that. It does have music. The battery is not able to keep up with the music, so the music the levels kind of go a little bit lower, like, or cut in and cut out sometimes, and so like that's annoying. So obviously we'll increase the alternator size. This is an old alternator. This alternator actually came off of the old motor that was on this car that I took out. So this alternator is no good, you know what I'm saying, for the music and keep up with everything, charge the battery, do everything it needs to do, especially when I go electric fuel pump, electric fans. We definitely gonna need a new alternator. So there's a lot that needs to be done with this car to revamp it, make it nice so that I could ride and drive. We're keeping this small block because, you know what I'm saying, we already got the LS here. We got the LT1, which that will probably stay at LT1. And, you know, I like my small block. I love the sound. I love how easy it is to work on it. If there's something wrong with the car anywhere, I could look at it and be like, okay, cool, that looks off, or, you know, listen to it, and I know how to fix it. I don't need no computer or nothing like that to tell me what's wrong with this car. This car has never left me, like, literally anywhere. Well, I take that back. I've had to have it towed home one time. You know what I'm saying? And that was because of the fuel issue that I couldn't figure out. You know what I mean? And then once I figured it out, it was all good. But you know what I'm saying? Other than that, this car been cold full. So we are gonna revamp it. I'm gonna start working on the interior, get all that stuff together. Like I said, we'll pull the motor out. We got the engine hoist. It'll probably have to go back to Dash's house for a second so he can do what he gotta do. And then I'll probably, you know what I'm saying, bug him about it again to get it back. And then once we're done with the Impala, once that motor comes out of the car over here and we revamp this, we'll go ahead and jump back to the Elco, pull this out, redo everything. This one won't take too long. And by that time I'll have the transmission and the rear end, all that. We got to snatch all the stuff out to undercoat it. And then once that's done, put everything back and this thing will be ready to rock. So I'm thinking maybe next summer, late next summer is my goal, shooting for getting this back on the road because I want to enjoy my Elco. I love my Elco. This one, as you guys know, and have heard me say before, that this one will be the last car to ever go out of this garage or driveway or whatever. It will be the very last to go if I had to make a choice. So anyways, like I said, man, I want to, you know, cut y'all on for a second, show y'all the Elco, you know what I'm saying, give y'all a little taste of, you know, what the Elco's got going on right now. And hopefully we can get back to her soon. But other than that, man, I mean, ain't really too much more to talk about. Grind Schoolers, that's gonna do it for this video, man. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Like I said, the Elco has been a work in progress for the longest. It's just continued to keep leveling and leveling and leveling up. And if you guys have been following me for a while, you guys have seen what this car has looked like before. It was an ugly, ugly, ugly duckling before. Now she's pretty, but she has her issues, you know what I'm saying? She has her attitudes, you feel me? So we trying to correct her attitude now. And once we do that, man, I'm gonna be in my Elco all the time. Every weekend, I'm gonna be in my Elco. Cause I love my Elco, man, I ain't gonna lie. I love to be, you know, riding, cruising in it. And to me, it's one of the best looking Elcos like I've ever seen. There's some saucy Elcos out there, but like, you know, not only cause I built it, but the color scheme on the car itself and how everything matches and flows perfectly. These wheels that I got, you know, obviously I got them custom made and everything like that. They just fit the car so perfectly. In the blue, the blue color scheme with the gold, like I've said this before too, it's just like a royalty type of, you know, color scheme. You know, like if you look at the ancient Egyptians, you see a bunch of gold, a bunch of blue and all that type of stuff. It just gives me that vibe, that feel to it. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, you know, I want the SS's to be out next summer. And then obviously too, I want to be sliding with, you know, the wife and, you know, and the Elco and the Gbodys. So, but regardless of the situation, man, that's where we're at with the Elco. Hopefully we can get to it soon. But anyways, man, like I said, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Always remember, work hard so you can live free.